Welcome to this week's episode of the Growth Journey Show, the weekly show for business leaders looking to grow their business. What are we talking about this week, Steve?
This week we're talking about the importance of AI for SME businesses.
And why are we talking about it this week?
We're talking about it because I've just been at the Inbound conference in Boston, hence the t-shirt, and about 25,000 people attend that event, so it's massive. I've attended it now for 5 years, and one of the key things that I look for is what is going to be the big trend that's going to be really impacting the sales and marketing industry in the forthcoming years. AI stood head and shoulders above everything else this year.
And what's the tedious link with our location today?
Tedious link is that you always ask me a whole bunch of questions when I come back from these things.
And every other day as well.
Well, every other day. But usually the place that the questions happen and the talking happens is over the bar, over a cup of tea. So we thought we'd just record it this time around.
So this is going to be video 1 of 3 about some of the things that Steve's going to be talking about that you learn at Inbound. So make sure you hit like in the video and make sure you subscribe if you want to share this video with other people, and make sure you hear the rest of the other 3 videos. So why is AI important for SME looking to grow?
I think AI is the biggest change. It's a tidal wave of change coming for business. So much like the internet was a huge tidal wave of change in the last 10 years, AI is exactly the same. And we need to embrace that as SME businesses, otherwise we'll be the Blockbusters to the Netflixes that embrace this change and changed industries.
One of the stats I stumbled across was a Gartner study that says in the next few years, 1.8 million jobs are going to disappear as a result of AI replacing them. That might be a shock to you, but what's more shocking is that 2.2 million jobs are going to be created as a result of AI. So people aren't going to get replaced with robots. People are going to basically need to shift from what they're doing now to what they're doing in the new world that AI is helping you. So there's going to be a net gain, but there's going to be a significant amount of change. And that is definitely, like Steve said, going to make companies go out of businesses and potentially get rid of industries in their entirety if they don't embrace the new AI that's coming.
Yeah. So you're on board with this, you want to embrace AI. The first challenge you're going to face is overwhelm. It's like, oh my God, I've got a huge new thing that I've got to embrace, and it's going to impact probably all areas of my business. So that's the first thing that we identified. The second thing that we identified was really just that most businesses haven't even got their heads around. They're not using the internet properly. And now we're asking them to use something brand new that's going to really impact their business as much, if not even more, than the internet. So what are we doing, Chris, in our business to embrace AI that perhaps other businesses could follow and use the tips that we've got in our own business?
I guess AI is simplistic. Most simplistic is automating a process. So initially you've got to figure out which processes that you have can be automated and how easy is it to automate those processes. So if you haven't got systems and processes in your business, then the first step you're probably going to want to do is to get yourself a bunch of systems and processes. So the way that we're doing it is we are listing all of the various different business activities that we do, and we are figuring out whether we've got a process for it. Then we're trying to figure out how often do we do it and how long does it take. And then we're trying to look into like what is the potential to use automation and AI to try and make that task a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, and a little bit more effective. So we are trying to evaluate the difference between the amount of time that we take and the ability for us to be able to automate or use AI in some way to make that process or system better.
Yeah, we'll prioritise those by the time savings, and the ones with the biggest time savings are going to be the ones that we tackle first. Little caveat to that is that we really believe in starting simple with these things, because overcomplication will kill any new initiative. So what we're also going to do is choose some of the simplest things to implement, tackle those first, and once we've got our heads around those and got those in place in our business, then we'll start to deal with some of these probably likely slightly more complicated ones where we've got these biggest time savings that will have the biggest net positive effect for our business.
This has been one of 3 videos we've been talking about some of the insights that Steve gained from Inbound. If you want to see the other 2 videos in this series, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you press like, because it will help other people just like you who want to grow their business to see this video. So until next week.